Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ServiceNow 911. I hope you are following my series of asset management. The last video, which we have discussed about model and model category, it is the fundamental. It is very, very important for you with respect to hardware asset management, or you can say asset management. Okay. So please make sure you have gone through the full video and then come to this video. So we are done with the model category and models. We understand the purpose of that. Now we have to move to assets. And in this context, hardware assets, right? So now let me share my screen. I have both the things ready for you, my document as well as the PDI. Okay, so this is the PDI. Here, if you go to hardware assets, you can see the hardware asset table, and the table name is ALM underscore hardware. Okay. If we go to the body of this table, we should know where it belongs. So let me go to table here. So this table is extending the asset table. So very basic, right? The parent is asset, and under asset, we have more than one tables like hardware asset, software asset, consumable assets. Okay. Or maybe few more related to asset. So this is the fundamental table for asset. If I go to this table, let's see, nothing you can see here which is extendable. It means this is the whole and soul of your asset table. So this is all about parent-child relationship between the tables. Now, how these records are populated. So these records are populated by a number of ways. Okay, this table, basically this table is populated by manual effort, by some automation, by the discovery. Okay, so n number of ways by which we can add the asset in the asset table. So now look at these two assets at the top, Test Discovery and Pratap's. So basically, these are the assets which are created by discovery. How? I have a separate series on discovery. In that, I am explaining all these things. Okay, I am doing live discovery with with Windows, with Linux, and there is a lot of plan. So please make sure you join that particular series as well. Okay, so you see here. So discovery ran, CI created, and that CI is created automatically this particular asset, because if you remember, the model category is saying the same. So what is model category? What is the relation? Please make sure you watch last video. Very important. Okay. Along with that, I have created few assets manually. Okay. So these are the manual assets. So right now this is demo or PDI, right? So data is very less here, only 800 records. But you can see this is how we can add the data. Okay. We can add the data via catalog. It means via automation, or somebody will open the hardware table and create the asset. So now let me show you my document. Very simple, very good document. Model versus hardware asset. Okay. So model represents a device type. Obviously, model is the device type. For example, your Asus computer. This is a model. And what is asset here? Individual computer units which are being distributed among the company. Let's say you have 10 people in the company, and to those 10 people, you have given those 10 units, okay, units to each and every member. So that particular unit is known as asset, okay. Whereas in ServiceNow, we create a model that is known as Asus laptop or Asus version something, okay. So device type is the hardware model and represent one actual physical device. I hope you get it now. Then you can see the example here. This is Dell Latitude 5440. This is the type of that Dell laptop. And this is the example of asset is Dell Latitude 550 with a serial number and assigned to someone. Obviously, it's a machine. So that computer has a serial number. Whereas model does not have a serial number, but it has other information which is repeatable. I'm not going to, repeat all about model here. Please watch the last video. Okay. Then model contain the common information. I told you this contain the unique information. One model can be used for many assets. You know that. And each asset normally point to one model. Yes, very simple. See here. This is model. If I group by model, You can see per model you have n number of items. It means n number of assets. So this is ACME Corporation BGM 775. This is one model. With that model, 4 items are there, 4 physical devices are there that is being used across the organization. Okay, you can see the state of that particular asset. This is in transit, this is in use, somebody is already using, or this is ordered but coming in transit, or this is in stock. It means it is there. We just have to assign it to someone. Okay, so this is how model and this thing work. Does not represent specific owned devices. Yes, represent a specific owned and managed by the organization. Yes, okay, because these assets are what? These assets are the real physical devices that are being managed, discovered, updated properly by the organization so that they can keep a track of it, because company is already spending thousands, lakhs and rupees on this. Okay, the whole company culture and work dependent on these things. Okay, so we have to manage it properly so that we understand what is outdated, what is the demand for new assets. Okay, how much we are spending on the assets, and all the planning can be done based on that. So this is the simple difference. You can see the simple example I told you many times. Now, what a hardware asset tracks? Very good thing. A hardware asset is a record used to track business and ownership side of one physical device. Yes, if I open one of the asset here, so what it is telling me? It is telling me the ownership. Ownership means to whom it is assigned. Who is the owner of that particular device, that particular laptop or server, whatever. Okay. And the second thing is business. Okay. So it can tell us which device the organization has, which model it belongs, its serial number and asset tag. So serial number, asset tag, this is what? This is the business information. Okay. So that we can track it properly. Its current state, what is the location of that particular device? What is the state of that particular device, whether it is assigned to someone, whether it is in stock. You can see the state here. This is the state. Okay. So when we are maintaining this thing manually, we have to do it manually. Okay. When there is any integration, something rest or something, it is updated accordingly. Okay. But when we are doing discovery, in that case also, this is being maintained properly. Okay. So there are a number of ways to maintain this, but we have to maintain this. Okay. I told you why. And there are few more things like who is responsible for using it, what is the cost, when it was purchased, what is its warranty. Okay, all these things you can see here. Very self-explanatory things. What is the department, what is the company, what is the asset function. What is asset function is its primary, secondary, shared or loaner. Primary means a laptop which is being assigned to you directly, primary. Secondary means it is being shared by a number of people, or it is associated with something. Okay, so something like that. When it was installed, this is the serial number, this is the substate. So it is in transit, and in transit you have all these states available. Okay, so you have to manage, you have to understand all these states. Very self-explanatory, but still you need to go through, you need to understand the motivation behind these states and substates. Then it has financial information. What is the request line? Request line means from where the request is coming. So how we track that? Mostly the request is coming in the tool via RITM's request, right? Service catalog. So it is representing the same. You can see it is going to the same table. So you can see the description here, requesting onboarding for a new employee. We want this because this is needed by a new employee. Okay. Then invoice number, very basic, vendor, cost. Right now it's 0 because this is demo, but in real instance, the information will be very much correct. Number of quantity, okay? All these things you can see here. Acquisition method. So generally it is purchased, right, for laptop and small things. But in case of it is a server, it may be possible it is rental or lease. So depends on how you are acquiring this particular asset, you can write the thing, okay? Then expenditure type, like it is coming from CapEx or OpEx. CapEx means capital expenditure. OpEx means operational expenditure. Okay. So what is capex and opex? You have to understand that. Then disposal information. Once the time period is over, you have to dispose it. Why you are disposing it? Because company is spending money on it. If you are disposing it, they must know the reason. Okay, for audit purpose or any other purpose. Who is the beneficiary here? So who is the beneficiary? It means you are disposing. Who is disposing? Okay, to whom you are going to dispose this. So again, that will be a company. So it's the company here. If you are reselling, then what is the resale price? All these are self-explanatory things. Then we have depreciation. So you can down the depreciation as well. If the cost of that particular is depreciated, then you have to update all these things here. You can see here, these are the technical terms with respect to depreciation. Then contract, under which contract this particular hardware is bought, okay, leased or whatever. Then we have two good fields here, support group. So it is group to which incident regarding this asset should be directed. If there is some issue with respect to this asset, which group is responsible in maintaining, again, fixing the issue? So that is a support group. Then supported by person to which the incidents regarding this asset should be directed. So here we have the group, but it may be possible that a particular asset is handled by a particular company, okay, a particular user. So in that case, you have to provide supported by. This is a user field here. So basically, you may be confused why two fields. So it depends on the company's culture, company's policy, okay? Whether we are using support group or supported by. So ServiceNow has provided both. Okay, so you have to think accordingly. Then allocation. So to whom it is assigned to whom is allocated, all these things are available here. Then activities, whatever is being done to this particular record of this type, everything is now going to be monitored, okay? So that in future you can see who has bought it, who has worked on it, okay, to whom it is assigned. Whatever changes you are doing are being audited here for future purposes, okay? So this is all about the asset record. At bottom, you can see this one asset can be a parent to another asset. Okay, you can create child asset to this particular asset. Very simple. You have seen this with many things. Then you have the expense line. Expense line is what? It is a financial tracking of this particular asset. Okay, so if we open this, generally it is created automatically whenever we are creating an asset. So it's a kind of receipt, okay? It's a kind of a record that is tracking the purchase of this particular asset, okay? So it is processed. This is the source ID, okay? This is the date. This is the amount, okay? Everything is self-explanatory. Now let's go back to the document. I think I have covered most of it. Hardware asset and CI. A hardware asset and CI represent the same physical device. Yes. Yes, this is the two things of the same physical device. So what is the asset and what is the CI? Asset track ownership, cost, life cycle, and financial details. You have seen that. Whereas a CI can track technical and operational details. Okay. Asset is used by asset procurement finance audit team. These are the teams who are using. Whereas CI is being mostly used by operations team. Okay. You can see the example laptop asset with purchase cost and assigned user. Laptop CI with computer class, IP address, technical relationships. Okay. So same thing, but different information is captured. And you know from this document, purpose is also different. Important field of asset table. So very self-explanatory. You can go through it. Okay. I have already shown you. One thing is left, that is stock room. So stock room for the time being is basically a place where you are storing the assets. Okay. In the coming classes, I will explain details about this. How hardware asset is created, manually created. Okay, manually by asset workspace. Yes, we have asset workspace as well. Then automatically created when a CI is created. I have already shown you. Discovery ran, it created a CI and then it created an asset. Okay. Through import or integration during receiving a purchase order from RITM, right? Through discovery, asset CI synchronization, all these things I have explained you. So this is now the basic exercise which you have to follow. Okay, I have already followed it. I have shown you everything properly. Okay, now you just have to come here and create a new asset. How to create? I am showing you manually. Click on new, then provide the basic details, right? Let's say it is a computer or computer room. One thing, whether a CI is created or not, that also depends on the model category. So if I create an asset for computer, it will create a CI. Whereas if I create an asset for computer room, it will not create a CI. Okay. So these all things are discussed in the very first video or last video. You have to go through it. Okay. So just provide these things. Provide a model. So associated models will come here. Select one of the model and then provide all these things. Let's say assign to admin. Admin is using it. That's it. Click on save or submit. So you see immediately a corresponding CI is also created because we have used computer model category. Okay. So this is how we have to go or we have to create an asset. One more thing I want to show you, asset workspace. This is also one of the place by which you can create an asset. So generally, who will use it? The people who are working on a service desk with respect to asset creation and all, they are have to use this asset workspace because it has everything under one roof. Okay, so it is very easy to create the things here. You can see this is the hardware asset overview. You can see few things here, fill in the missing model numbers, filling the missing useful life. So why we are seeing this? Because for a particular asset, if the information is not correct, then there is no use or very much use, right? No impact, less impact. So in that case, we have or ServiceNow has all these things pre-built so that they look into your data and suggest you something that is not industrial standard, right? So they are saying that if model number is not being used in a particular asset, then obviously you have to update that. Okay. So these are the out of box things, totally depend on your organization. Okay. If in your organization model number is not that much used, so you can ignore it, but you have to fill it if it is needed. Okay. Same thing with others. Okay. So these all are the basic checks for the data accuracy. Fill in the missing location. So total 88 records are there which are not having the location. Okay. So like this, you can see. So you can see basic details. Okay. So what I will do, I will create a separate lecture for asset workspace because here I can see few important things that is stock order, transfer orders, all these things, right? So I hope whatever we have discussed, you got it now. Make sure you follow the complete series. Whatever I am showing you, you have to try it. Let me know if you have any question. I will be happy to solve your doubts. Thank you so much.